Hey everyone, Kimber from Moksha Yoga and Wellness here. By popular demand, I've made some lifestyle videos on how to best utilize your diet and your exercise to help balance your dosha. So if you're unsure of what your dosha is, check out some of my earlier videos that go through Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. These are the three dominant energy types in Ayurveda, and you can take almost like an individualized personality body type quiz that'll go through and help you determine your ratio of the three doshas within you. So I just wanted to preface this by saying that there's a little bit of contention in the Ayurvedic community, but I am of the school of thought that you should balance for the season first, and then balance for which dosha is out of balance. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to balance for Kapha. But if you're trying to balance for Kapha in, say, for example, the fall, when Vata is dominant, you may actually aggravate your Vata. So it's a little bit of a nuanced understanding of understanding both the seasonal rhythm of Ayurveda, but also your own individual imbalances at any given time. So if we're talking about Kapha and using food as medicine, because Ayurveda says that digestion is the root of all health. So we're thinking about warming and light is kind of your mantra for Kapha reducing foods. So remember, in Ayurveda, like increases like. If you're already out of balance, you're going to crave things that bring you more out of balance. The trajectory, there's so much momentum in that direction already. We balance with the opposite that'll bring us back to some sort of center. So you're probably going to want really fatty foods, fried foods, really sweet foods. So that's where we start. Can we go the other direction? Can we balance with the opposite? Can we do a little bit less fat? Can we avoid all fried foods? And can we limit the sweet taste to naturally occurring sweets instead of artificial sweeteners and pastries and candies and cakes and things like that? So Kapha, if we're looking to balance with the opposite, Kapha also has a lot of qualities of heaviness and groundedness and wateriness. So to balance with the opposite of those, we're looking at avoiding really heavy grains, especially wheat, avoiding really fatty cuts of meat, avoiding extra super salty foods that are just going to have you retain water and just increase that wateriness of Kapha. And also avoiding even really heavy sweet fruits, things like bananas and dates that just don't have the lightness to them, that are just a little heavier. And then most importantly, Kapha is associated with a cold quality. So we want to avoid cold foods. We want all of our food to be warm, most of it cooked, and we're especially avoiding cold dairy. So cold cheese, yogurts, ice cream, anything with traditional cow's milk dairy is going to be pretty heavy on your system and takes a lot of Agni, a lot of digestive fire to digest. So if we're looking to balance Kapha and we're looking for warm and light, dairy doesn't really fall in that category. So what can you focus on instead? One of the little lifestyle hacks that I love to use is, instead of thinking about what you're taking out, think about what you're putting in. Think about all the cool new things you get to do. And as you're adding in more good, what's less desirable will naturally fall away. And it doesn't feel as restrictive and rule-based to say, this is what I get to add in. So looking in to add more bitter taste into your diet with things like leafy greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, just all those really good green vegetables. And then we want it a little bit warming. We want to get a little kick in the butt to spice us up. So using our spices appropriately, things like black pepper, cayenne, turmeric, lemon. But remember, we're also keeping in mind the season. So if we're using a lot of those warming spices in the middle of summer and Pitta season, we don't want to exacerbate our Pitta by being too warming. So it's a fine line. Pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. Some other things we can think about are raw honey for our sweetness. Now, you never want to bake with raw honey. It actually destroys the enzymes in it that make it so powerful. But raw honey can be really helpful for Kapha folks. And then as far as grains and proteins, thinking light, 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 light. So lentils, beans, egg whites, white meat, corn. If you're getting really high quality organic corn, not this crazy GMO Roundup Ready stuff that we're seeing all around, but Corn can be a really great alternative to wheat-based products. So if you're thinking like corn tortillas, you can have polenta with breakfast, corn chips, as opposed to heavy wheat-based things. And then as far as fruits, we're thinking about light fruits. So we're thinking apples, pears, berries, just not those heavy fruits like bananas and dates that I mentioned before. So I hope those are some quick tips on how to use your diet to balance Kapha dosha. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.